everybody, this is Keith Gleason, creator of the Mighty Mascots and host of Indie Comics Relay, and I'm here with another 5 questions segment. Before we get into that, I just wanted to point out that Mighty Mascots is still going strong. We are at almost 160 backers, so we got 2 away. So if you guys have not backed this book yet, please consider doing so. You know, we are very close to hitting 160 backers, and we're heading towards 8,000. And if we can get up to 10,000 before I shut down the campaign, probably, I don't know, early next year, something like that. If we can get up to 10,000, everybody will get a Mighty Mascots temporary tattoo. So how cool is that, you know? So if you haven't backed it yet, I would say no rush, but, you know, we are definitely going to close this at some point. So we definitely want you to become, one of the first readers to get the book. So check this out. Great campaign. I'm really excited about these 3 issues of the Mighty Mascots. I cannot wait to get these out to you. So check it out, and if you like what you see, definitely consider backing us. All right, let me. Now that we get the promo stuff out of the way, we're back with another 5 question segment. This seems to be popular. We just started doing this. This will be our 3rd one. And we got a nice, a very veteran creator for this one, which is great. The great Buddy Scalera. He's, if the name sounds familiar to you, you probably know him from his Marvel work. He, worked on Deadpool, X-Men, Lockjaw, and the Pet Avengers, and some other stuff. He's a great guy. And the other thing I love about Buddy is that besides being a great comic creator, great writer, he's actually big on comic book education too, which, we love because our channel is all about that stuff. So he's written a book on how to make comic books, and he also has the comic book school, which we've had on a couple of times with Buddy. Each year they make an anthology that they put out for free, but it's a great way to learn to make comics, doing comics in a short form. If you can do an anthology type book with just 6 to 8 pages and tell a story, you are on your way to making great comics. So it's great that we actually have Buddy for this segment, which is, really awesome. And now, because we have Buddy, the reason we have him on this episode is he's actually got a Kickstarter going right now. I just backed it today, so I can't wait to read it. I have read some of Buddy's Marvel stuff. I know I've read his Deadpool stuff, and I know I've read his Agent X comics. And I think I've read some of the Lockjaw and the Pet Avengers as well. So I know he's a good writer, and I'm sure you guys have heard of him, or at least the name sounds familiar, So before I get to the question segment, let's take a look. This is his Kickstarter that's going right now, Apocalypse Boulevard. It's a 4-issue miniseries, so you're going to get all 4 issues if you back it. It's got 7 days to go as of right now, but this will probably go up in another day or 2, so it'll probably be about 5 days left when this goes up. But look at it's great. Apocalypse Boulevard, cars, monsters, explosions, more cars. What could you ask for more in a comic book, right? But this looks great. It looks like a Fast and the Furious mixed with monsters, the stuff that comic books are made for, I think, to do this gigantic, big blockbuster kind of action movie, but in a comic book, where there's no budget needed, you go nuts, So this looks really cool. I mean, I like the images I've seen here. And the storytelling looks great. Of course it's going to be, it looks like Buddy got a great artist here. So this looks cool. So I backed it today. The link to back this is in the description of the video. So after you watch the video, head right over to Kickstarter and check this out and see if you want to add it to your list of comics. I think this is going to be a great one. So definitely check it out. So yeah, this Kickstarter looks great. So Yeah, definitely check it out. All right, so let's get over to the questions here. We do about 5 questions, and then I throw in a couple of fun ones, so it ends up being like 7 or 8 or so, So I asked Buddy to start off with a quick elevator pitch for the Apocalypse Boulevard miniseries. Here's what he had to say.
So Apocalypse Boulevard is basically post-apocalyptic. It's hell on Earth. Harpies and minotaurs have created a monster apocalypse, and an ordinary street racer must battle flesh-eating harpies and minotaurs across a post-apocalyptic highway to deliver medical equipment in time to save the life of his dying sister. I read that so I would get it right, but that's the story.
All right, so here's the actual first question. I love the premise for the book. This is a 2-part question. Where did the idea come from? And are you a fan of mixing genres?
Thank you. So the idea, where did the idea come from? The idea basically came from me and one of my best friends. We would pretend that if there were a zombie apocalypse or some sort of apocalypse, we would have to go and save it because we were local street racers, and then we would have to pick a car that we would use, but you had to be able to prove where the car was, and you had to be able to say, okay, I'm going to take that Camaro or that car, and this is why, this is what the mission would be. So it was basically just wish fulfillment, a little bit like superhero wish fulfillment, and that's basically how the comic book started. And yeah, I'm a big fan of mixing genres. I like to put things together that I'm excited about and then mix it up and see how it comes out.
Question number 2. I noticed you did a full-blown 4-issue miniseries instead of a graphic novel. Do you prefer writing comics in a serialized form?
Yes, I did a 4-issue miniseries. If I could do it again, I would do a graphic novel. Not only is a 4-issue miniseries very expensive because you have to go to print 4 times, you have to create 4 covers. It's also really difficult to write those breaks. I had been writing comics for many, many years, and one of the hardest things to do is to write a really good cliffhanger that makes people want to come back. If I were able to do it again, I would definitely do a graphic novel that contained the beginning, middle, and end of the story, and not go to print 4 times.
Question number 3. This world you created looks crazy awesome. Will we find out why zombies inherit the same Earth as minotaurs and harpies?
So, it's funny, you mentioned harpies and minotaurs. They are part of the mythical creatures that have come streaming out of the center of the Earth during a monster apocalypse. We don't talk about it much, but it's like an Earth event, nothing big, no conspiracy of any kind. It's just we start the story and it's already happened, then we back up the story, tell you what happened in the first couple of hours of the apocalypse. We do have other mythical creatures that if this story were to move on and move in different directions, we might see other mythical creatures. But in this initial storyline, it is harpies and minotaurs, and it's a lot of fun. So you'll get to see a different side of these mythical creatures.
Question number 4. For fans of your earlier work with Marvel who are not used to reading independent comics, how would you convince them to take a look at this series?
Oh, so for fans of my earlier Marvel work, like Deadpool and some of the others, how would I convince them? I wouldn't, actually. It's completely different work. I would actually just say, if you really like Marvel superheroes, there's so much great stuff to read. It's almost hard to make recommendations about what to read. If you love car and action movies and thrillers, then check this out. I mean, I don't know how much of a crossover there would be between my other work, like writing Deadpool. Yeah, there are characters that say funny things, and there's funny situations and dark situations, but ultimately these are completely unique to themselves. And I think people that love superheroes, and I do love superheroes, do like a wide range of genres. All I'm saying is if you love movies like Fast and the Furious and Mad Max Fury Road, this is the kind of thing that you would really enjoy. But if you only love superheroes, I don't know if this is going to be your cup of tea.
Number 5. How has your experience been with crowdfunding? Would you do it again? or recommend other creators to try it?
Crowdfunding is very interesting. I had done one Kickstarter early on a couple of years ago to make t-shirts for comic book school. It was fine. It worked out really well. But I was been a big supporter of crowdfunding. I buy a lot of indie comics through crowdfunding, and I was always tweeting out those links. I was saying, oh, listen, support indie creators. And then one of the members of the community was like, well, why don't you run your own Kickstarter? And I was like, oh yeah, maybe I should. So far it's been really good. We funded within about the first week and a half or so, and orders keep coming in, which is very exciting. A little scary when you think that you have to pack everything and send it out. My Kickstarter has been a great experience. I'm really learning about who my customers are and who they're not, how people come to discover my work, and then how I can bring my work to other people. So it's been very interesting, and I think creators who want a lot of control should look into it and recognize that it is quite a lot of work, especially through the fulfillment part, which I haven't fulfilled this one, but I have fulfilled another one in the past. And we used to be able to sell, photo reference books and CD-ROMs direct. So I know how to put this together, and it is a lot of work. So I would say consider what your options are. Maybe you want to work with a small publisher. Maybe you want to be an entrepreneur and build up that part of your business. Just make sure you understand what your motivation is and what you're getting into. But more than anything, I would say build a generous calendar timeline for yourself, because this all takes a lot longer than you realize.
All right, and we got a bonus question for number 6. Favorite car chase from a film or comic?
Favorite car chases. Do you have a couple of hours? Because I can do this all night. I had to really narrow it down. I would say that Fast and the Furious, better known as Furious 7, probably has the best series of car chases, although the entire franchise is wonderful. Baby Driver was a lot of fun. Mad Max was a lot of fun. Bullet. Of course, the funniest car chase is the Blues Brothers, so it's really kind of hard to narrow it down, but you would just have to pick what you're in the mood for. But I love a car chase. I look at all the cars, and that's probably what I replay most when I go back and rewatch a movie.
Favorite post-apocalyptic movie or comic?
Favorite post-apocalyptic movie or comic? Oh, wow. I would have to say that the greatest of all was Mad Max 2 Road Warrior. It was it made you aware of how awesome you can get with a post-apocalyptic landscape and car chases. Of course, then Mad Max Fury Road came along and added another layer to it, a modern filmmaking. Again, both of those are just so much fun. If you love post-apocalyptic and you want to throw cars together, there you have your genre mashing.
Favorite monster movie or comic?
Favorite monster movie or comic? I would have to say I love the classics. When I was growing up, I loved Godzilla and King Kong and those types of movies. And there's always a place in my heart for those. Yes, the bigger movies have made it more exciting, and the special effects have made it feel so real. But there's something about the charm of those original movies that I will always love.
Number 7, add any quick and final thoughts on Apocalypse Boulevard.
Any quick or final thoughts? I would say that if you have an idea and you think that it's really good, I would say don't take the first draft. Work together with a couple of different people, get input. I was able to get input from quite a few people. Some of them are working pros. Some of them are regular people reading comics. Because I had a little bit of extra time to change my strategy, I was able to go back and rewrite sections that I felt like could have been better. So I would say give yourself enough time, get a trusted community like Comic Book School, and then build something that you're really happy with, because you're going to have to live with it for the rest of your life.
All right, Buddy. You did a great job. And actually, I think there's a lot of good advice in there, especially about the crowdfunding and about thinking about comic books as your own business, because I think that's where this industry is kind of heading in a few years. I mean, the big two seem to be shrinking left and right. And, I think everybody's going to be an advocate for themselves as far as promos and, being able to pivot and do all the different roles it takes to create a comic and get it out into the world. So Buddy, thank you very much for doing the 5 questions. We really appreciate it here. And I definitely want to catch you in New York at New York Comic Con at some point, sometime soon, and just talk to you for a few minutes. So, but thanks again for doing the video, and then I'm sure we'll have you on the live stream again down the road. When the new anthology's going and things like that. So, but all right, everybody. Well, thank you for checking out this episode of 5 Questions with an Indie Creator. We will be back with another live stream this Wednesday. We got 3 horror creators coming on, which is amazing. And we'll probably talk a lot about horror comics. So that's going to be on Wednesday night at 9 p.m., the usual time. Join us for that. And that'll be it. So thank you guys again. Have a great week and read some comics. All right. Thanks, everybody. Bye. Have a good one.
Ahoy, mateys! 'Tis I, Captain Horatio Honeyflakes, and I be here to tell you about me newest crowdfunding campaign. The adventures continue with me crew, the Mighty Mascots, in issues 7, 8, and 9. Just focus your looking glass on the amazing artwork of Ian Warianto and Anton Bondi. Me crew, the Mighty Mascots, are up against some scurvy scallywags, and we need ye help to defeat them. There be a bounty of exclusive treasure, only available here, where X marks the spot. I spy a huge coffer of bonuses and stretch goals on the horizon. Then please consider pledging so we can continue these adventures with the weirdest crew I ever had the pleasure of sailing with. Mascots Unleashed!